Hi, the biggest questions we'll get from our potential customers is, how do I get on your network?
Well, it's easy.
You just need two things, an Ozone SIM card,
And an LTE Band 13 compatible device.
you're probably wondering, what is that and do I have one?
Well, you just need to visit our website for a list of compatible devices.
Or you can visit us in store where we'll have a wide range of LTE Band 13 compatible devices.
And just remember,
We're beyond the network.
No time for lunch? With a bottle of Ensure, you get 9 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and the calcium that your body needs. For the hectic moments of your life, drink Ensure.
When you need space to grow, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with competitive rates and support every step of the way. Visit us today and discover what's possible.
Have been among, it was St. Tongues, I mean, wagging. I remember Andy Thornhill in particular. He was a huge fan of you back in the day. You would have run against the likes of people like Willan Louis and Andrew Hines. What has been going on with Jesse King, of course? Bring us up to speed with what's been happening with you prior, of course, because you're obviously at Springer Memorial now as on staff. But where were you during those years? You went on to Carifta, you did some fantastic things, you won a gold medal and so on. What was the journey like in between there?
Medal at majority of them is always a good thing, and just want to bring some of that experience and knowledge to the children at the memorial, and I think we're doing a fantastic job. The head of our department, so everything is going well. It's not only myself, it's on the team as well, but being a member of many of those national teams. All of us who are on staff and the B department, physical education department. These were represented Barbados nationally as a coach or as an athlete and both. So we have a fantastic department. It's a very good team to work with.
Now, for those persons who obviously are very concerned about, and particularly I know the old scholars, they are interested in whether or not Spring Memorial will be able to retain this championship. What are the possibilities? And I want you to speak frankly and practically to the possibilities of Spring Memorial retaining the championship from the girls at Christ Church Foundation. What is the possibility? What do the possibilities look like?
Over the years, I mean, you have a strong history. I mean, when I was going to school, Spring Memorial was a powerhouse back then. So from like 1988, this is 2018. So dominance, where the lowest it was probably third when it was 2002. I was still a student.
Okay.
Still a history of that. Changed over the past 2 years. Most people have known that. And it's taken a little adjustment. We have some students going over on scholarship. And of course, the students' education is first. And we're saying a number of students over on scholarships who gained some critical points for us. In the rebuilding stages.
I really don't understand what's happening with your mic, so I'm gonna allow you to use mine, Jesse.
In the rebuilding stages, and what I do tell some people who ask me if second is a difficulty for some schools. There are some schools who have never been second before, so the girls know the high standard that we set for them here at Spring Memorial. As it relate to pertaining the championship, of course, that is goal number 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
We want to win. We are preparing a very good team. I know some other schools and some other programs are preparing good teams as well.
Yeah.
And the competition on the girls' side over the last 3 to 4 years has improved tremendously.
Right.
And we here at Spring Memorial welcome that challenge.
So, can Spring Memorial win?
The answer to that, sir, is yes. I believe we have a strong enough team.
Right.
And we are not coming to the stadium again to lose.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So you can now allay the fears of those persons who obviously have a vested interest in the Spring Memorial track team and wanting them to return to their former glory prior, of course, to the year 2015.
Yes, please.
When, for the first time in a really, really long time,
Yes.
we would have lost the championship.
Yes.
Nevertheless, looking ahead, I'm observing the times, I'm observing the distances, and I like what I'm seeing. I think that the school is certainly in for a challenge because Foundation is not going to relinquish the title just like that. I know Siebert Strawn is going to be working extremely hard to marshal his troops and get his team together. I know that Ricky Carter as well, being a part of that setup, is going to spare no effort in ensuring that that title returns to Churchill. But I am also equally confident that yourself, Julie Phillips, Miss Best, Miss Archer, Miss Jones, and Mr. Dupini, the entire team really will spare no effort as well in ensuring that Spring Memorial is properly represented and will go and give a good account of themselves. Of course, we are certainly thankful to the sponsors again, Scotiabank, who, as I said earlier, are also sponsors of sports.bb,
Yes,
and have allowed us to bring this live stream to you. We are having a little lull in our activities here, but we have the distant hurdle events. Let me say good afternoon to Miss Victoria Level, who has been messaging my phone profusely.
Good afternoon, Miss Level. How are you
Correcting
doing?
me and chiding me. She did offer one good word of encouragement, which I appreciate. And let me say thank you for that word of encouragement, Miss Level. Good afternoon to you, and I hope that you're recovering well at home. She was scheduled to be here, but she unfortunately is not well. But we certainly do wish you a speedy recovery from sports.bb and certainly Springer Memorial. 200 meters, followed by the 300 meters, followed by the 400 meters, and these are all hurdle events.
All hurdle events.
We look forward as well to the 4x100 meter relays.
Yes.
Those are going to be coming later on in the evening. And we will also have the junior medley. Of course, in the junior medley setup, we have a 100 meters, followed by a 200 meter, and then the last leg runs 400 meters. So the first two legs of the junior medley, of a medley rather, they run 100 meters in terms of distance, and then there's a 200 meter, a 400 meter, and closing out the day's events will be the 4x400 meters. I don't have the points update. Do you have the points updates by any chance? Looking here,
sir? We have
looking here at what we have. In terms of the girls' triple jump, remember we did tell you that the triple jump event was underway a little earlier. That was the field event being run simultaneously while the hurdles were also going on. You want to give us some insight into what the final result of that event would have been, Mr. King?
Yes, sir. No
Go
problem.
ahead and call.
We have Sierra Coward from Blue House with a distance of 10.04 meters and giving the Blue House girl team 6 points. From Red House, Shantae Seal with a distance of 10.19 meters, giving the Red House team 8 points. And winning the girls' triple jump open, the hop, skip, and the jump. From Blue House with a distance of 10.31 meters, Selena Johnson.
Fantastic. So, some critical points here for Blue House. They're in a battle for third place, really, with Greenhouse. And I'm certain that those 8 points would go a long way towards this. No, they actually got 6. It would go a long way toward their effort. But we are still awaiting the start here of the distance hurdles. Let's talk a little bit about the hurdling technique. For those persons at home who may not be too familiar with it. You are a specialist hurdler. You were a hurdler back in your day, of course, when you would have been competing at meets such as these. What does it require of the athlete? What does it take out of you? What kind of preparation is necessary? Tell us a little bit about that.
The hurdler is a special athlete. Normally, when we're looking from a standpoint of this age, would be 12 to 16, and in our case, we're thankful to be a new sixth form program, the 18-year-old. We're looking for an athlete who can sprint, one who is very coordinated, one who also has a jumping background. Jumping background will be an asset, especially in the long jump, because it's a combination of sprinting with a rhythm. Some people, unfortunately, will tell a child or athlete to jump over the hurdle. It's actually an extended stride over the top of the hurdle. So it's a more sprinting, rhythmic event. It takes a little time to perfect. Could take you as much as 2 to 3 years to get it right. Of course, we will teach the hurdle technique in our physical education classes, especially to the first and second formers. It assists tremendously with coordination. And once they can have the basic technique down pat, it also aids in a number of different events, not only in track and field, but also the other sports that we do participate at Spring Memorial.
Sounds fantastic. How difficult is it to get those first formers to really acquire that technique? I've seen, for example, the development of Selena Johnson.
Yes, sir.
And she has developed into a fine hurdler. She, in terms of the speed aspect of it, she's not the quickest, but how has it been? How do you get them to? Obviously, the obvious thing, I mean, is practice.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, you obviously have to practice.
You have to practice.
But what are you looking for in terms of like the lead leg?
Yes.
The trail leg.
Oh, yes.
What are we looking for?
Pretty much, you want to get them going over the top of the hurdle. That's the main thing. Unfortunately, there's a big fear factor, which we also have to work upon to get them working them out. And once they can get over the top of the hurdle, it makes life a lot easier. So we start from the bottom. We use cones, we use sticks, hurdle sticks, hockey sticks from 4 inches to 6 inches off the floor, and work our way up to the regulation heights. And once we have that, obviously there are the 3-step drill that most people will see as the athlete run. There are 5-step drills, there are 7-step drills that they can do between the hurdle, but as they compete, they'll do the traditional 3-step and then over the top of the hurdle. Rhythm is very important. Once they get their rhythm down pat, they would improve And the good thing about the hurdles is that once you get improvement over one hurdle consistently, the time can drop tremendously because they have to go over 10 flights. So once you have that correction, everything is done, and everything's improvement can be made tremendously.
From a psychological perspective, I know there must be the aspect of the fear of falling.
Yes, sir.
How do you deal with that?
It's actually exercises that we teach them how to fall correctly. Sounds very weird, I know, but once they know the way that they can fall, protect themselves, protect their arms and their legs to roll, stuff like that. Once they have that component down pat, then it eases the fear a bit. Once they can attack and go over the hurdle, they're more comfortable. So once they go with more speed, the less chances of their falling. If they do hit the hurdle is designed in such a way that it falls towards the ground, away from the athlete, so it doesn't hamper them. So once the technique is done correctly and they move with speed and rhythm, the confidence level of the athlete goes up. And then once that occurs, the psychological barrier that you have indicated to me earlier disappears.
Let's make a distinction between the distance hurdles and the sprint hurdles.
Yes.
Obviously, the stark difference would be the distance involved.
Yes.
Technique-wise, approach.
Okay.
What would be involved as far as that's concerned?
Technique-wise, the short hurdles, which we call the sprint hurdles, the technique is a little more aggressive. The athlete attacks a little more. In the distance hurdles or the intermediate hurdles is a more graceful movement. The hurdle stride can be elongated a little more. They can go a little further down the track. They can also attack the hurdle from a much greater distance. So the steps in between is based on the athlete's confident level and what they can do, where they have practice. On the men's side, we have guys who will do 13 steps, 14 steps, some as 15. On the female side, they can go as much as 16. We wouldn't really want them to go more than 18, but they're the younger ones that will do that, depending on the age group, depending on the technique. And the distance between the hurdles can play a vital role in everything that they do.
Is rhythm as equally as important? I am anticipating that, obviously, because a distance hurdle event is what it is, a distance hurdle event. Mm-hmm. The margin for error may be a little more than it would be in the sprint hurdle.
Yes, much so. And the good thing about the distance hurdle is that you can, of course, you know, you have athletes who can run the 4, the 8, the 200, who can hurdle. And if you are very well coordinated, you can do the 4 hurdles, providing that the training schedule and the macrocycles and the mesocycles are put in well, you can get them in. The margin for error in the distance hurdles, you can get away with a lot more because the hurdle is actually 35 meters away from each other. So it's more running than hurdling in that aspect. Whereas the sprint hurdles, especially for the females, will be 8.15 meters. So it's much closer. For those who have the traditional bungalow house, that'll be the distance of the front room between one hurdle and the net. So it's not much distance to navigate between. So the margin of error, of course, increases.
Talk to me a little bit about the height of the hurdles. What for the junior girls, the 75-meter hurdles, those would be
all
the divisions?
Yes, the divisions 5, 4, and 3.
4 and 3,
yes.
Right.
Obviously, we at Spear Memorial encourage participation in the events. So actually, the event at the school sports will be the Division 3 hurdles.
Right.
But of course, we want participation here, so we start from Division 5. Technically, Division 5.
You're giving out the secrets, Mr. King. You're giving out the secrets.
Yes, unfortunately. But we want the children to participate. So we have the first formers participating, the seconds, and the thirds. So the event is actually from Division 3. The 100 hurdles, the traditional 100 hurdles that they would do for the BSAT Division 1 and 2, that hurdle is actually 8.5 meters apart. And then it decreases as they go down in age group, obviously to accommodate what the juniors would do. The track has the markings put down. So those who are watching on TV, those who are watching on sports.bb, those who watch competitions will realize that the track has a series of markings on them, different colors, and different colors indicate different distances for different events.
Right.
So it makes life easy for the officials to put down the hurdles.
So the height is for the junior girls would be what again?
73 centimeters. I'm speaking on the correction.
For the seniors,
And I think that's 76.
76. Is it the senior boys that run 90 something or something?
The senior boys
Yeah.
would run the 99, and the men international would run 106 or 103, sorry, which we call 3 foot 6 inches.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. The hurdle event. And as we get ready for that event now, we see the Division 3. These are the distance hurdles. In lane 2, representing Yellow House, is of course Division 3. Malia Edwards in lane 3. Kishana Smith from Blue House, representing, she's going to be in lane 3. Kishana Smith representing Blue House. In lane 4, Tanara Paris representing Purple. In lane 5, Shantae Seal representing Red House. And in lane 6, Julia Gibbons representing Green House. I reckon that you would have seen these young ladies before, Jesse. So let's give me your pick I
think this race would be a very interesting one. Malia came into us 2 years ago, and she has fit in well with what we're doing. She's a very good multi-event athlete, so she would have participated in almost any event that she is allowed to do at House Sports. Very coordinated individual, short in stature, but she's a very confident individual, and she participated well along with Tianara Paris for Purple as well.
So you would call it probably Malia Edwards, Tianara Paris?
Yes, that's probably where I'm in. But of course, once I get a surprise, I'm always happy and thankful because, of course, the more students we have to choose from a BSAT point of view, is always good.
Fantastic. So that's the Division 3 girls. We are awaiting the start of this event. We've been having some trouble with the gun all morning. What was the issue with the gun, Mr. King? Why have we been having all of these starter problems? Can you please give us some insight? You've been back and forth.
Yes, we had a technical issue with the trigger. The trigger was jamming a bit, breaking a bit, along with the head that hits the actual shot. Unfortunately,
the firing pin.
The firing pin, yes, correct. Thank you very much. The firing pin, it was giving some difficulty. So it was penetrating as it should, but it was not going as far forward to actually hit the actual shot. Okay. And that was frustrating Miss Phillips a bit, as you can understand.
She seems to have gotten it under control.
We have a replacement gun, and it's working very well. And that was what we would use for the rest of the evening.
Fantastic.
And we have been able to meet back up with the schedule, and everything is back up and running. Miss Phillips seems to be ready for the 200 meters hurdles, Division 3. Once again, Malia Edwards in lane 2, Smith Blue House in 3, Tianara Paris in 4, Shantae Seal in 5, and Julia Gibbons in 6.
It was just a check.
Yes.
If you heard the shot firing in the background, that is just the testing the starter's gun, because we would have had some difficulties all day really with the gun. Well, I shouldn't say all day. It wasn't all day. It was actually for the very first event on track, the 200-meter events. The Division 5 girls, as you would remember, those of you who were with us at that point in time, they were on the line for a very long time, and then they were taken off and then brought back on and taken off again. It was very, very frustrating for everybody involved in that particular situation, Ms. Phillips, and certainly the athletes, of course, whom all of the supporters would have come here today to see. I'm watching the athletes now. I'm seeing Malia Edwards running through, just doing a little run through there. She looks really good, and certainly she's one to watch out for in the future. And I think with the right handling and the right training, and she herself, obviously, because these athletes, in terms of athletics, you know, the athlete themselves, they have a responsibility to eat well and take care of themselves, make sure they're taking their supplements. But this child, and I'm amazed at how much she is doing, because to be honest with you, Malia Edwards has participated in just about every event on track here this morning, and she certainly has a lot of energy.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. What Ms. Phillips is actually allowing the athletes to do right now is just go over the first hurdle. just to make sure that they're comfortable and the technique is right. And she herself, very experienced of this over the years, former national netball player, national coach as well, number of secondary school netball championships under her belt. Any team prepared by Miss Phillips in the netball competition is one that is well prepared. And she's also done her fair duty as relates to the national team for track and field. She would have been a manager on 2 occasions for the Crifter team. And the last one I remember being in St. Lucia some years ago. So very versatile individual. She's our chief starter here today.
Yeah.
And I think she's done extremely well to get the meet back on target and on time schedule.
Will Springer Memorial be participating in the relay fair? Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to it eagerly and in anticipation. Of course, you know that Miss Rudder, the meet director, the chairman of the organizing committee of the relay fair, a former Springer Memorial teacher, former head of the department of the physical education department, responsible for the relay fair, and of course, as a duty, Springer Memorial would always participate with the relay fair, and we have a strong lineup this year. I think we have a good mixture of youth and experience in the team.
But we're on the way now for this Division 3 girls hurdle event, 200 meters of course. And what I'm seeing here, from what I'm seeing, it looks like Malia Edwards going over the hurdles first. Malia Edwards really motoring along the curve there, making her way now onto the straightaway, and as she approaches the finish, Malia Edwards representing the Yellow Stinging Bees. Well, she's out front, Malia Edwards, and she's closely followed there by Tinara Paris, as you would have anticipated. Malia Edwards crossing the line now, winning from Tinara Paris from Purple House. So we have yellow first, purple second, in the persons of Malia Edwards and Tinara Paris respectively. I didn't see who made it in there for that 3rd spot.
I think it was Jalea Gibbons from Greenhouse for 3rd.
I'll go with your eye. It's probably better than mine anyway. I wear glasses, you don't. So we'll call it for Malia Edwards, Tinara Paris, and Jalea Edwards, 1, 2, and 3 in the Division 3 girls 200 meters hurdles. We have, after this event, the Division 2 girls. They will be running a distance of 300 meters as opposed to the 200 meters that the Division 3 girls would have ran.
The 300 meter hurdles won contested at the BSAT championships as well. So we, as you can see, the events will mimic those that are done at the BSAT championships. Of course, giving the girls not only the opportunity to showcase their talent towards their classmates and their schoolmates and their parents here, but also be a good indicator for what they can do come March in the national competition that we have, the BSAT Barbados Secondary School Athletics Championships in March this year. The 300 meter hurdles we have in lane 2 from Yellow House Amber Gill, lane 3 from Red House Naomi Gardier, in 4 Deandra Foster from Blue, and from Purple Jaleesa Jones-Smith. 4 athletes competing in this event, the 300 meter hurdles. I think all 4 of them are capable of hurdling. We'll see what's the outcome of this one.
I could probably call this one for Deandra Foster. I would probably do that.
Yes.
Should be a close thing between her and Jaleesa Jones-Smith from Purple House.
Yes.
Again, Jaleesa Jones-Smith, she's one of those athletes. She's been doing a lot of work for a very long time.
Yeah.
But as she has been going through, those natural stages of life like puberty and so on, she has developed in terms of, she's put on a lot of weight. So she's not as agile as she was when I first saw her in first form. In first form,
yes,
she was very slender in terms of her build, but she's put on some weight in terms of hips and so on.
Yes.
And now she is looking a little different.
Yes, sir.
She's looking obviously more mature and so on.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed her events have changed as well, because she was doing, when she first came out, she was doing the 100 meters, 200 meters, 400, those kind of sprint events.
Yes.
Now she's doing more hurdles and a lot of field events.
Yes.
So it goes to show, obviously, when an athlete first comes into a school, you don't know exactly where they will end up, but so you just allow them to do everything.
Yes.
So that by the time they start to go through their puberty stage, eventually their strengths and so on would be highlighted. You would see where you can utilize them and where they're excelling according to the body type that they start to develop and so on. Because even I'm looking at Malia Edwards, and as petite as she is now, in another year or two she can have a growth spurt, and then she looks totally different.
She's one that we really pay attention to in terms
it'd be a totally different ball game.
Yes.
So these are all things and factors that we have to consider when dealing with these athletes. We have on the line Amber Gill, Naomi Gardier, Deandra Foster, Jaleesa Jones-Smith.
Yes. Miss Phillips is ready, and they're on their starter orders.
And they're off and running. I'm seeing an extra girl in here, one that I cannot account for, but nonetheless, based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like Naomi Gardier, who would have jumped over the hurdle first. But not to be counted out is, of course, Foster and Jaleesa Jones-Smith as well. But it looks like Naomi Gardier from Red House right now, who is doing most of the running. She looks pretty composed. I haven't seen a lot of Gardier this morning, but she really has to maintain her composure as she comes down to the last about 110 meters or so. And as we are looking at the race, it looks like Naomi Gardier from Red House is leading the pack. Will we see a late surge here from anybody? Naomi Gardier, no. There will be no surging today, tomorrow. It will all be Naomi Gardier. A fantastic run from her. Division 2 girls, 300 meters, Naomi Gardier. And just like that, Deandra Foster runs through the middle and takes second place. Just like that. And you as a coach would know that you usually tell the athletes not to pull up. Not to pull up. And, Jaleesa Jones-Smith came through a kind of lackadaisical and a kind of canter almost.
I think what Jaleesa is doing is actually what we call is doing the whole college trot. That's what we use in the NCAA terms, where you're just gathering points for your host. She's not one that would do this event at the BSAC. I think she's just trying to get as much points as possible for a host who's in contention at the moment.
And since you mentioned that, well, obviously now I understand what is going on, because Purple House is in second place and they're trying to win their very first championship. They've never won a championship at the Springer Memorial School. I must state that for people like Miss Victoria Level, who is in Purple House. And they've never had the opportunity to taste victory. Unlike my house, Red House, we tasted victory back in 2016 and for a number of years previous. But Purple House, they haven't had that opportunity, and they were really coming here today with all of their guns blazing, seeking to cop that first championship, which is going to prove very difficult, really and truly, because the Yellow House have so many athletes and they're doing so very well in terms of the number of points they've been able to acquire over the course of today's proceedings. We are seeing now on the line the 400 meters hurdles for Division 1 girls. In lane 2, you're seeing Joanne Clark. In lane 3, Sierra Coward. She's been working hard all day as well. Selena Johnson, she's in lane 4, representing Blue House. And Stephanie Fort Pilgrim representing Purple House. Now, this should be interesting. Stephanie Fort Pilgrim representing her Purple House. Purple House has one athlete in this race, Joanne Clark from Yellow House, one athlete in this race, and Blue, they have 2. And of course they're in battle with Green House, who were last set of points received. Green House was in 4th place, and bringing up the rear is Red House. Red House has not had a very good year at all.
Mr. Webster, is that your host, sir?
Pardon me?
Red is your house as well, right?
Red is my house. I'm interested in the fact that you took time to mention that, as though I have not mentioned it already, Mr. King. I do not hide from my house, but I am only one man. I cannot do everything.
Correct.
I'm glad anticipate that the labor must be divided among the teachers, and so I can't commentate and still have to go and get the athletes. It really cannot work. If I were capable of doing so, I would have, though.
They're on the starters' orders for the under 20 girls 400 meter hurdles. Miss Phillips, gun is up.
And there they go. We have Joanne Clark, Sierra Coward, Selena Johnson, and Stephanie Fort Pilgrim. Clearing the hurdle first looks like Joanne Clark, and she is running out of lane 2. should be interesting to watch. Joanne Clark doing most of the running here. Welcome back to all the folks who are here live with us. Joanne Clark out of Yellow House, yes. Yellow still up front and center. One athlete from yellow, one from purple, and two from blue. I'm seeing Sierra Coward looking a little jaded, but Joanne Clark is digging deep here. She's doing most of the running, and I'm almost sure that she will probably maintain this from all the way through to the finish and cut this race. So we want to encourage the spectators here to give some support to Joanne Clark as she makes her way. All the Yellow House athletes, make some noise for your athlete, Joanne Clark, who is going to take this one because it's about done and dusted here. Joanne Clark from Yellow House stumbling there a little bit over the last hurdle, and she's putting in a big effort. Joanne Clark from Yellow House crossing the line now, winning from Sierra Coward and Stephanie Fort Pilgrim. Oh, Sierra crossing the line now. Stephanie Fort Pilgrim third for Purple House, and there is Selena Johnson, points for Blue House. And after all of that action, we're going to take a little break, come right back to you, and bring you some more action here from the stadium, the Springer Memorial Inter-House Championship. Over to you.
Hi, the biggest questions we'll get from our potential customers is, how do I get on your network?
Well, it's easy.
You just need two things: an Ozone SIM card
And an LTE Band 13 compatible device.
You're probably wondering, what is that and do I have one?
Well, you just need to visit our website for a list of compatible devices.
Or you can visit us in store. We'll have a wide range of LTE Band 13 compatible devices.
And just remember,
We're beyond the network.
No time for lunch? With a bottle of Ensure, you get 9 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and the calcium that your body needs. For the hectic moments of your life, drink Ensure.
When you need space to grow, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with competitive rates and support every step of the way. Visit us today and discover what's possible.
And welcome back to our coverage here of the Springer Memorial Inter-House Championships. Just took a break for commercial cause, really, to pay the bills and make sure that the sponsors are pleased and get their mileage. Of course, you know, without the sponsors, this would not be possible. We always have to say thanks to Scotiabank, Ozone, and Ensure, bringing live coverage of the Springer Memorial Inter-House Championships here from the National Stadium. I must say that the weather has been very kind to us today. It's blue sky, I mean, absolutely gorgeous. I don't even know if the cameraman can probably pan around and show you a view of the sky, but it's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Waterford. The hurdles are now being removed from the track because next I anticipate that we are going to have the start of those relay events, the 4x1s relay. No, we're actually going to have the Old Scholars race, parents race, and the teachers race. So we're going to have a little novelty, some fun. So some of you may very well see some of your friends who have children here at the Springer Memorial School. You may see them on track now. Of course, these races are only for bragging rights. That's all they're for, just for bragging rights. And no medals will be awarded. And subsequent, of course, to the relays, we will then have the 4x1 meter events. The relays, those are always exciting. Of course, the idea is to get the baton around the track as quickly as possible. And you will be seeing among the more senior girls markings and techniques that they would have rehearsed during practice, you know, because as we leave this meet today, we look forward to the Inter-School Championship, BSAC. That's what they call it, Barbados Secondary School Athletic Championships. and Springer Memorial, you would have heard from Mr. Jesse King himself, straight from the horse's mouth, as it were, that the girls have a good team this year, and we are looking to challenge Foundation. In fact, beyond merely challenging Foundation, we want to reclaim that championship. We'll see how it goes, though. Hurdles still being removed off the track. From my vantage point here, I'm seeing that the vast majority of them are already off. So it's just a matter now of rounding up the troops and trying to get the teachers and the parents and so on involved for the next 3 events, of course, which are the Old Scholars Race. All of the old girls will come back and have a little blast down the track from about 50 meters or so. The parents' race and the teachers' race. You know, they haven't been running like they used to, these old scholars. So we don't want to give them too much distance to cover unless they pull something. You don't want to. They have to go to work on Monday. Probably got the day off today to come and cheer and support, especially those who may be entrepreneurs and so on and working for themselves. May have taken the time as well. But certainly they want to be able to report to work on Monday and continue to make a productive living, yes? So we'll see. 50 meters shouldn't be too much, shouldn't be too stressful. I remember back in my heyday when I first came to Springer Memorial, and I was seeking to make a mark, a name for myself in terms of the school and so on, and getting to know everybody. I participated in the teachers' race. And then I got an injury, a reminder. I pulled a hamstring. A reminder really and truly that I'm not as young as I used to be. And from that time, I decided that I would just stick to doing commentary and stick to cricket. Cricket is my thing. I am a huge fan of cricket. I follow it all the time. I love sports in general, but you know, track and field has its season, and cricket is now becoming one of those sports that is being played year-round, and there's so many teams and so many outstanding performers, and it's a lot going on in the world of sport. A lot of interesting sports as well. I only paid attention to a sport called curling the other day. It's very popular, I understand, in Canada. It's very, very interesting. All kinds of things happening all over the world, and things that we in this part of the world may even deem peculiar are actually quite popular cultures in other places. But I think that the curling, if it is not already an Olympic sport, will probably become an Olympic sport. I'm looking forward to 2020. I know that people who are excited about football, they're looking forward to the Football World Cup. And that's going to be later this year. I anticipate in the summertime or so. I am a Brazilian fan. I support Brazil. That's how it was in my household. My father is a Brazilian supporter, and likewise I am a Brazilian supporter. I think his English Premier League side, though, he supports Liverpool. I'm not a fan of Liverpool. I am a firm believer in the Red Devils. Manchester United all the way. Lost a very tough game the other day to Tottenham. Tough loss indeed, very disappointed. 2-0 we lost. And I sat there in the midst of some friends who were tormenting me all the while as Manchester United went down to Tottenham Hotspur. But what I am sure of, though, especially for those of us that follow the EPL, is that the Spurs will not even come second in the Premier League this year. And so that is not something that we have to worry about. I think that at this point, Manchester United, we pretty much have a good command on that second spot. It's just for us to, you know, now to synchronize as a team, acquiring Sanchez and all. A lot has been happening. Mourinho, obviously, I think this is his second season with Man U. Still rebuilding somewhat. But we miss Sir Alex. We really do. And we are really awaiting the arrival of the old scholars and the parents and the teachers for these novelty events. All right, we're here. So we're just trying to get a few things sorted out. Really doing a lot of things here today. There's activity all around me. Some of the old scholars passing through. I think I see 3 here. 3 young ladies. I can't believe that they actually finished school. I taught them, all 3 of them actually. Now making their way to run about 50 meters or so. So we're seeing some old scholars coming and looking to make their way now. About the 50-meter mark. It should be an interesting thing to watch. Let's see how this one pans out. So we have some more scholars here. I'm not seeing any teachers gathering though. Nor parents. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the old scholars are here. They're going to have a little moment. I'm going to go down the track now and see how their muscles were fair since they would have left secondary school. Probably been out now for about a year or so. Sometimes it's interesting, you know, Mr. King. Maybe these young ladies may not have ran when they were in school.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing, Mr.
But now they have left.
I was going to ask you.
More willing participants.
Yeah.
To go and participate in the old scholars race. Maybe it's because at that time they were intimidated by the likes of the Akilah Joneses and these kinds of people.
And the funny thing about it too is that not only they're participating, but the apparel.
I'm seeing the security guard also making her way. Is she an old scholar?
I am not sure. I have to ask Miss Proverbs.
The security guard is making her way over to the area.
There are some of them. They're in jeans, denim, big shirts, small shirts. They're removed their shoes as well. So not ideal for competing in this type of condition. But I wonder 2-3 years ago, if you would ask them to do this, they probably would have told us no. So that's very interesting.
Well, let me say good afternoon to my very good friends from the WD-40 cricket team. It's a very good name, you know. I really love it. WD-40. Good afternoon to you, gentlemen. Those are my very good friends, Mr. Dean Straker and Sari, Bill Waterman, and the entire team.
Yes. I understand that you were want to.
They're in tune to these championships today. We're seeing the old scholars race on the line. Ashley Proverbs, Donna Davis, Rodnika Jones, and Zakia Weeks. Let me see here. What have we here? This young lady, it looks like Ashley from Deanna Davis. Oh my goodness, and she falls. She takes a tumble there at the end. A little bit too much momentum. She may have over-rotated, if you want to call it that. But she had a little tumble there at the end. Good sport, nonetheless. I reckon that is Ashley Proverbs indeed. Ashley Proverbs, and she was representing Red House. Red House, of course, they won't get any points from that event, but it's all good fun here at the Spring Memorial Championships. Inter-house, of course, Rodnika Jones. She would have represented yellow. Zakia Weeks representing red. Well, I don't remember these young ladies representing Red House at all. Mr. King, I don't understand it. What is going on here? I'm seeing some.
That to you, sir.
I'm seeing some parents. I'm seeing some parents here. I see 2. Andrea Proverbs representing red. Yes. And this looks like Tashana Welch representing Purple House. I'm sure that their children will be very proud of their efforts. I wonder if they're representing, because this is the parents. They must be representing, because you know some of the parents here today would have attended Spring Memorial as well.
Oh yes.
And so I wonder if in those instances if they may be representing the child or representing themselves when they decide to pick a house.
I think they'll be representing the child. For those who have parents, they always know when your child has house sports, you wear the color shirt or pants that your child is associated with, no matter what. So they'll be wearing. I think they'll be represented, supporting their parents, their children. Sorry. Couple changes to the relay format this year. we will see a change at the BSAT level as well. It has one has been brought down by the IAAF, which is the international governing body for the sport of track and field. We've made some couple changes to the takeover zone. So
Really?
now the zone is now 30 meters instead of 20 meters. Yes. So they're giving the athletes 10 more meters to play with. Realize that they've done it the year after the likes of Usain Bolt has retired. Don't know if there's any coincidence to that, Mr. Webster. But
Well, I will not be getting involved in that discussion, but I'm certainly sure that the persons at the IAAF would have been paying very close and keen attention to the trends and things like disqualifications and so on, because we have seen a number of top teams. I remember Barbados won a silver medal. I think it was last year at and it was at the World Relays. World Relays,
Bahamas,
yes. They won a silver medal at the World Relays. And a number of the top teams would have crashed out at the semi-final stages because they may have run out of the zone and may have dropped the baton. Something of that nature would have happened. But obviously, when you are running a sprint event, especially a relay, and it's all adrenaline, it's all, sometimes it's a blur.
Yeah. The momentum is
the momentum of
so
it all.
much
And
more than the individual event.
Sometimes a guy may run before he's supposed to. He may run before the incoming athlete gets to their mark.
Yes.
And he's off, and then you have to try to run extra to catch him. He has to slow down. All kinds of dynamics happens in these 4x1s. This, of course, is going to be the first.
The Division 5?
Yeah, Division 5. Division 5, they're going to be the first on the track in terms of these 4x100 meter relays events.
Yes.
Followed by Division 4, 3, 2, and 1 respectively.
Yes, sir. And we're shortly going to have the lane assignments for these divisions. These girls would have practiced some exchanges as hosts, not necessarily as school teams. So you will have a lot of individuals here, a lot of girls participating here who might not have necessarily run for the day, running for their house, all right? Running for their house and doing a fantastic job. They would have practiced themselves. We, the P department, did not help them at all.
Yeah, we're just awaiting the lane assignments. Here we go. Here we go. So here we have the lane assignments for the Division 5 4x100 meters relay event. In lane 3, we have Blue House. In lane 4, Green. In lane 5, Purple House. Lane 6, Red House. And in lane 7, we have Yellow House. Division 5, of course, these girls have just entered secondary school.
Yes.
So the technique in terms of passing the baton is not going to be the greatest. So don't expect to see any significant technique involved here or anybody putting it on any markers. Because at this stage, they just seek to get the baton around the track as quickly as possible. I am sure that as they go forward into the BSAC meet, that you and your team will certainly be working on developing their technique in an effort, of course, to cut down the time and getting that baton around the track.
We would have started relay practice already. For those who we know would have been ones who represent us at the BSAT or the relay fair. But as you mentioned, these are the younger ones, the babies of our school. And they just want to go out there and have some fun, especially those who are not able to run the individual events for their respective houses. So we're going to be in for a little fun. And normally the 4x1s offer some form of excitement and intrigue as these young ladies go around the track. I think we'll be in for some fun, excitement. I would be surprised as well. You will also get a little bit of comedy from them as well.
Well, that's a part of life. That's a part of the process. You have to allow young ladies to make a few mistakes and so on. But it's all good fun and games here today at the National Stadium. Just about 25 minutes down to the hour of 2 o'clock in Barbados and across the Eastern Caribbean. And the meet, I believe, has caught up in terms of the scheduled times because obviously we would have started this morning a little bit behind. Things like the gun would have contributed to the delay.
Yes.
But the athletes to my right, if those of you who are hearing that noise, that roar in the background, That's the athlete tent over to my right there. They're having a little celebration because after all of these events are over today, after the houses have competed and the medals have been given and the champion house is announced, all attention is then turned to BSAC.
Oh, yes.
And they will all be members of the same team. And so
a very strong sisterhood here at Spring Memorial.
Oh, I know that.
Yes.
The likes of Tricia Phillips and Neviandra Greenwich, Shantae Seal. I anticipate that those are the ladies that will be leading the charge this year into this year's BSAC Championship.
You have been here longer than I am. This is my 5th year here. And these young ladies, you've seen grown before your eyes. And to see them change from being the babies that we were seeing here in the Division 5 now to the Division 1 in the under-20 girls, being the captains and the leaders, the head girl, deputy head girl, the senior prefects, and seeing the maturity coming from beyond them. It goes to show the team here at Spring Memorial in terms of the development has done a fantastic job.
In the background, we hear the announcer just making sure that the various takeover points are ready. I'm seeing the girls lining up here for their for the start. Just getting some instructions here as to what's happening with the various camera setups and so on across the system. Of course, this is sports.bb bringing you live coverage of the Interhouse Championship Spring Memorial. And we are here live at the National Stadium in Barbados. The athletes have worked extremely hard today. We've seen athletes like Malia Edwards participating in as many as 5 events already. But we're getting ready for the start. I see Miss Phillips looking to sort herself out in terms of getting this event on the way. No, she's issuing some instruction now across the track, so they're not quite ready as yet. But the various takeover points are, again, just to remind you of those lane assignments: lane 3 blue, lane 4 green, lane 5 purple, lane 6 red, and lane 7 yellow. Welcome back to, well, I'm having a little difficulty here with the microphone for the live feed, but we are ready. We are ready. And there they go, off and running. Let's see. Red House is looking pretty good here in the Division 5 girls. Red House is looking extremely good here. And I reckon that Red House is going to hand off first. So here we go. Division 5 girls, the first handover. Red out in front. Larson in charge. But watch the girl from Purple House. So she's tracking them down and tracking them down well. But Red House is still Larson in charge here. Out front and center. Red House, they're going to hand off first once again. This is the second handover. And as they make their way around the curve, it's still Red House, all Red House, and these are going to be very critical points for these houses, Mr. King.
Oh, yes,
we're going to need to get these points if we're going to move from that 5th place. It's all Red House, done and dusted. I'm going to call this one for Red House, not seeing how it's looking because I'm getting some a little bit of blockage there, but Red House is going to win this first 4x100 meter relay race. Division 5, Red House all the way, followed by green, and I make it, that's Blue House. Purple coming in 5th. Oh, that was a good run though. No, that's 4. Yellow House coming in 5th actually. A very good run there by the athletes from Red House. So that gives me something to work with for the future, Mr. King. I have something to work with, my goodness. I want to thank the lottery for finally sending me something. The draft has been horrible to me over the years, but I've got some talent this year. Thank you very much to those who are responsible for the draft. I appreciate it. Red House winning that one. Greenhouse coming in 2nd, and blue, I make it for the 3rd spot. That was the Division 5 4x100 meter relay event, and we are still here live on sports.bb. National Stadium is where the action is at. I know that there's some action going on at the Lodge School today. Matt did tell me that he was going over there, but this is where it is at. This is where the action really is. Oh, Springer Memorial. Lots and lots of action here today. Red House. winning that one quite handsomely. I'm excited, please. You have to bear with me because I haven't won a lot for the day. So I'm going to relish this opportunity. As we get ready for the Division 4 girls, you can give the lane assignments.
Division 4 girls, 4x100 meters relay. Lane 3 green, lane 4 is blue. In 5 we have yellow house. In 6 we have red, and in 7 we have purple. For those inquiring what is really a Division 4, Division 4 are those young ladies who would have come into the school who are actually the under 15 athletes in first form. So to encourage participation, we have a Division 4, that way they can compete and we would not lose out. And any athlete going into the first year and the under 15 who would participate with the third years. So once again, we have Division 4. In lane number 3, we have green. In 4, we have blue. Yellow is in 5. Red is in 6, and purple in 7. Mr. Webster, we have been blessed today tremendously with some fantastic weather. Those who are in North America, the New England area, Canada, would love to be this side of the world. A picture there of perfect blue in the sky.
Well, you're certainly correct about that. And as the music starts up in the background, I'm seeing the athletes just dancing a little bit. You're going to get to shake a leg here today?
A carnival style here.
Yes, the sounds of yes in the background on the folklore rhythm. I'm not sure you would know about that, the folklore rhythm. It's one of the more popular rhythms in Trinidad.
Mr. Webster, are you in Trinidad this year, if any of your music?
No, please.
No?
I have work.
Mr. Webster, I want to congratulate you for the work you're doing in the music department. You're all doing a fantastic job in the way. In my PE class, the students speak about the work that they do with Mr. Webster in the music department, especially the semitone jingle. I remember very well, Mr. Webster. Job well done.
We are trying to find the unique ways in which to teach our students. We have a task on our hands. It's a little different in terms of the era and the type of children. The things that they're exposed to now are a lot different than what we would have been exposed to in our time. So different techniques and approaches obviously need to be employed so that we can maximize the potential that has been placed before us. I heard some students grumbling this morning, they're just outside the gate and so on. They don't understand, and oftentimes we ourselves didn't understand at that stage what was being done for us to help us to mold, to mold us into the types of persons we are. But as you would mature and grow, naturally, you would begin to appreciate the lessons, the discipline that was administered, and the care that may have at the time seemed a bit harsh and tough. You now understand as an adult that it was necessary and appropriate to mold and to fashion responsible individuals.
Oh yes.
So we're getting ready for the Division 4 girls. I'm seeing also Division 3 making their way on off to their various takeover points.
I believe this
standing by, of course, to call the race live here at the National Stadium for those who are with us live and direct here in person at the stadium. Looks like we're going to start right about now. So we rejoin those who are here. And we welcome you back. Sports.bb here. My apologies. The starter seems to have been startled by my speaking into the microphone. But they're off and running. Lane 3, green house. Lane 4, blue house. Lane 5, yellow. Lane 6, red. And in lane 7, purple house. There is a group in front of me that's blocking me right now, and I really need to see the race. So as I can't see what's happening. But it looks to me as though red house is once again out front and center. But maybe I'm incorrect. No, that looks like purple. Yes, the athletes from Purple House tearing up the backstretch are now going to take the turn. Let's see who hands off first. Looks like purple and red again. Let's see. But purple is up front. Red is still in the mix along with Yellow House. Looking pretty good here. Here we're in for a ding-dong finish. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight to the finish here at the National Stadium. Division 4, 4 by 100 meters. Red, yellow, and blue house. Who is going to come out on top here? It's close, looking like Yellow House. Yellow House powering down the track, followed by red. Oh, I can't call that. I can't call it. It was close there, red and purple house. Very close indeed, but there is no doubt, no mistake. Yellow House has won that race. Oh, what a good Division 4 4 by 1 meter race just now. It changed hands, you know. When it started, the Red House looked pretty good, and they were taking command of the race, and was a thing there between them and Purple.
Yes.
And then a little later on, I don't know, it was really Purple, Red, and Blue. They already did most of the running there, but on that last leg, the athlete from Yellow House, she really stamped her authority and pulled away from the field, creating some distance between herself and the next two best finishers. I reckon that we have to wait on the photo finish to determine exactly who would have placed second and third in that particular event. We await the official results, and of course we know that these relay events, Mr. King, they will carry some significant points. In fact, I believe that the relays can very well determine whether or not Yellow House remain champions, or if Purple can make a surge, a late surge, to topple them to take that top spot.
The relays also carry a little bit more points as well. The relays normally go 12, 10, 8, 6, whereas the individual events would be 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So there's a little bit more points rewarded for the relays in this case, and this one I think is going to be very interesting.
And that is the standard. We are now turning our attention to the Division 3 girls 4 by 100 meter relay event. In lane 3, Purple House. In lane 4, Blue. In lane 5, Green. In lane 6, Red. In lane 7, we have the team from Yellow House. Lots and lots of coverage here today at the Spring Memorial Inter-House meets. I'm seeing people from other media houses here. So it tells us how highly anticipated these events are, and this particular meet, really.
Oh yes, I mean normally it looks at as the start of normally here people said the start of the
saw
athletic
Paul
season.
Mears earlier. I'm seeing one of the technicians here from Starcom now. Saw CBC here earlier. But sports.bb, we are here for the entire day. Some come and they go, but we are staying, we are keeping you company, and we're happy to have you in company, joining with us as we support the young talent, future athletes and representatives of Barbados. We hope to see some of these young ladies following in the footsteps of Akila Jones and so on. Maybe go on to the elite levels and represent the country at the highest level, Mr. King. They're bringing the athletes and putting them in a very strange position here, directly in front of us. And thankfully, they have now relocated. We appreciate that. Let's say thanks to the officials from the Spring Memorial School for sorting that out. We now await the start of the 4x100 meters for the Division 3 girls. They're under starters' orders. And there they go. The Division 3 4x100 meters relay. In lane 3, purple. Lane 4, blue. Lane 5, green. Lane 6, red. And in lane 7, yellow. Handing off the baton first is the team, it looks like from Greenhouse. But oh my goodness, that is Malia Edwards, and she is absolutely tearing up the backstretch. But I am watching Tionce Waldron. She's running well for Purple House. Let's see who hands off first. Oh, a little bit of mix up there for Yellow House. Look at Purple House though, they're still in the mix. Not to be confused at all. Oh, Purple is making a good run here, but still watch out for the stinging bees. How is it going to work out here? Oh, the baton is dropped. Purple House has dropped the baton. Oh my goodness, and that's going to make the way for the lean green machine to get in there, but it's going to be Yellow House, Kennedy Jackman and Rishana Herbert crossing the line first and second respectively. Oh, very, very important points lost for Purple House there. Yellow though, in the person of Kennedy Jackman, running and running well. How many points do they get for that first place, Mr. King?
12.
12 points. 12 very important points. She's acquired for her house, her and the team, of course. This is a team event, the 4x100 meter relay. Oh my goodness. But Mr. Thompson, Mr. Wiltshire, the entire Purple House team must be very disappointed. But nevertheless, it was a good effort. These things do happen. It is track and field. Sometimes the baton drops, sometimes somebody runs out of the zone. These things do happen. We can't anticipate them before they happen, but they just do. Turning our attention now to Division 2 girls. This should be a speedy encounter. These girls, about 15 or so, between the ages 15 and 16. And what used to be under 17, now called Division 2. And once you've reached the age of 17, now you go into Division 1. Division 1, all the way up to 19 is under 20, they call it. Or used to, I should say. But this is going to be a speedy encounter. In this one, I'm seeing across from me, I'm seeing representing Yellow House, Ladija Granum. Who else have we here? I'm looking across. I'm seeing who else. Who else have we here? There were a lot of names that I think Foster should be in this one.
Foster should be in
Deandra
here.
Foster should also be factoring in here. She probably will run the ankle leg for Blue House. Really not very sure what's happening. Seeing Shaquana Scott as well. But she's among the senior girls. Tricia Phillips, they're making their way across. But in terms of lane assignments, in lane 3 we have red, lane 4 green, in lane 5 purple, in lane 6 yellow, in lane 7 Blue House. The lane assignments for the Division 2 girls 4x100 meter relay event.
I'm also seeing Joan Smith from purple as well. You mentioned Foster. Khadija Duchamp as well. And also Khadija Strawn. Some of the familiar names that those who know Spring Memorial athletes would.
Now Khadija Strawn is one of those athletes that I believe has natural ability.
Oh yes.
But she does not put in the work. And consequently, she is really a far cry from where she should be as an athlete. And please do forgive me for being harsh. I've been told to tell all, keep it real. That's the phrase that they use these days. But she's a naturally talented athlete. But she does not put in the work that is necessary, Mr. King, to fulfill the potential that she has. If she is going to capitalize on that potential, she really needs to adjust her mindset, get focused, and get active. Train, diet, do what she needs to do, and maximize that potential. Because I saw her at the semi-final stages, and she was competing and competing fiercely. And I'm saying, look at this child. She does not train. She hardly trains. And she's still running among the children that do. Can you imagine if she were to put in the kind of effort that she is capable of? She would be causing so much trouble among these Division 2 girls. Even at this stage, she should be really bullying the field. In a positive way, and because I know that term has a negative connotation these days. But I mean that she should really be taking charge of her races. She's a fantastic 100-meter runner. Good 200-meter runner as well. But
would have won
put in the work.
The double when she was in on the 13 her first year here at the Spring Memorial
She certainly
School.
did. She certainly did.
Mr. Thompson was very pleased with that. Mr. Thompson was the year ahead for that particular year group at the time. Brought the BSAC record and did fantastic.
I think when she went on to BSAC, yeah?
Yeah.
That's when she really had an impact in that very first year.
Yes.
She really caused quite a stir in that first year.
We have our DJ queuing up as well. I know the students have been looking forward. They would have enjoyed some of the music being played. This carnival-like atmosphere that Mr. Webster has mentioned to earlier. Students are enjoying the day so far here at the National Stadium here in Waterford, Barbados. Very good day here today. And we must be thankful for the blue skies that we have today. Not a drop of rain. Every event was contested. High participation, keen participation. And everyone playing their part. From the canteen, the guards outside, the deputy at the door, the Royal Barbados Police Force. We have sports.bb here in conjunction with Own Zone and Insure. And of course, Scotiabank. So everyone is on board for today, and we are very pleased and thankful to all who would have played an essential part of putting on today's program. I know a number of people and parents and well-wishers of track and field and the sport are also here. A number of coaches are here as well. Different teachers from other schools. A high standard set by Spring Memorial as it relates to the upbearing and the upkeep of the standard for the sports.
All right. Well, we're getting ready for the Division 2 girls. Lane assignments, lane 3 red, lane 4 green, lane 5 purple, lane 6 yellow, and lane 7 blue house. They're rounding out the field.
Mr. Webster, we're giving you nod to.
I would probably give the nod to Yellow House. Yeah, I think I'm going to give the nod to Yellow House in this one.
Yeah.
It should be between yellow and blue, I reckon, but we'll see.
That was Miss Phillips doing the test shot, make sure everything is up and running as it relates to the technical timing. Yellow seems to have a strong team on the track. Amber Gill, Branham, the same Khadijah Strong you spoke about earlier.
Correct. And it's for that reason that I decided to go with Yellow House, because they have the more seasoned athletes and the ones with natural ability.
Yes, gun is up and Miss Phillips is ready.
Amber Gill leading off for Yellow House, so let's see how this goes. Amber Gill already. Already, she is out front and center. That's Amber Gill representing Yellow House on that first leg. And I'm having a little difficulty with these folk in front of me. If they could just grant me the favor of moving, I would appreciate it. But Yellow House is looking pretty good so far. Jaleesa Jones-Smith, though, from Purple House, is running. She's running an absolute thrill on that back straight. And Yellow House still up front, though. Let's see what happens here. Oh, my goodness. And there goes Blue. Let's see how this works out for the very last handover. How will it go, Mr. King? How will it go? That's Greenhouse. I just saw something very peculiar happen there with the lanes. Looks like somebody went in somebody's lane. We'll see though. But this is Greenhouse. I didn't have them in the mix. Green. That's the green machine. Red House coming in second. And the team from yellow, Khadija Sean anchoring that team. They came in third. Yellow House coming in third there. But the green machine, now I didn't see a red flag go up. But I did see something very strange on my monitor. That is not my job, though, to call. So, I shall make my observations and speak to my folks here on sports.bb about that very quietly while I remove the live mic. Yes, if you would have paid close attention, the athlete from Greenhouse, there seemed to be some mix-up in terms of the lane situation they crossed.
Yeah, if it holds up, though, I think if we would say a surprise or a shock for the day, I believe that would have been it.
Oh, certainly.
Yes,
certainly. I was not expecting Greenhouse to win that 4x1 relay, but they did, and congratulations to them.
I think
you know what I did not factor? Ashley Jordan. I did not see Ashley Jordan.
Ashley did not
Ashley
compete
Jordan
for the day.
Did not compete for the entire day.
Yes.
Now the name Ashley Jordan is one that you would hear representing Spring Memorial at BSAC. And I think at the semifinals, I don't know if she picked up an injury or what the issue was, but she went down pretty hard. Obviously, her build now is a little different, but she took a tumble at the semifinals, went down pretty hard, and I have not seen her in action today at all. So she's obviously fresh, and she would have played a significant role in the outcome just now. And because she did not have on her colors, I actually thought she was from Blue House, but then when they handed over and I saw coming out Ashley Jordan, definitely a danger athlete, one that you cannot ever underestimate, especially when she has not ran a race for the entire day. She's fresh. She's fresh, fresh legs. And the others, most of the others have done about 5 events already.
Yes.
I can give the lane assignments for the Division 1 girls.
Division 1
4x100 meter relay. Coming up just to about 2 o'clock now. So we seem to be on schedule here for an on-time finish.
And lane 3, which seems to be vacant for some reason, is purple. Blue is in 4. In 5, red. And in 6, yellow. And followed by green in 7.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to go over those lane assignments for the benefit of those persons here. Division 1 girls 4x100 meter relay. Lane 3, purple. Lane 4, blue. Lane 5, red. Lane 6, yellow. Lane 7, green. They are just awaiting instructions from the starter. On the starter's orders now. So we're going to see Sierra Howard in this. So let's see how it's working out here. Yellow House, my goodness gracious me. They're making some distance between themselves and the rest of the race. So yellow is up front. Tricia Phillips is going to run the back stretch. What is she doing, though? I'm not sure that is an advised technique that Tricia employed there. We certainly expect a lot better from our senior athletes looking back and that kind of thing. But there's Shaquana Scott, and she's running well for Purple House. Is that Shaquana Scott? I marked that it is. Yes, it is. And she's handed over now to who does this look like from Purple House? Blue is in the mix as well. Blue, yellow, and purple. Oh, what do you get when you mix those colors, Mr. King? What do you get? Oh, you get action here live at the stadium. It's Blue House. Oh, here we go. This is Sierra Coward. She is going to come down now and dust this one off for Blue House. More fire, more fire. Purple in second, followed by Drew Ann Clark. She representing, of course, Yellow House, and rounding out the field is Marissa Watts for red. So, as anticipated, Sierra Coward being the fastest girl in the school. Oh, there is Greenhouse. Kayla Turney. So red would have caught 4th there. A very good run indeed. Going to hand over to DJ Bond. Yes. So we're here. Exciting times these. The crowd is gathering by the side of the track, and this is really advised because it really Poses a challenge to us here, Jesse. We really can't deal with this because it gets in the way of the cameras and everything. You can't see exactly what's happening.
Yes.
It really poses a challenge, and I cannot see what is happening. I'm trying to depend on the monitors here, but you know, sometimes the angle is a little tricky.
Yeah.
You can't tell by looking at the monitor sometimes exactly who's in front, who's not in front, and what's going on. But I'm really hoping that somebody here can get these folks on the side to please just
Unfortunately,
stay away from that
we
area.
don't have the barricades that we're accustomed to having in the National Stadium. Normally, they're not here. And of course, most of the Barbadian public understands the setup currently at the National Stadium with no permanent seatings. As you realize, the stands will be out for the last 2 to 3 years. So the folks at Sports.BB are doing a fantastic job trying to keep us in angle so we can see the events. And it's posing a little difficulty, but the cameramen are doing a fantastic job, and we're pleased that those at home and the office, corporate Barbados, can still see the events. We have a DJ now playing some music for the public. Mr. Webster, do you know the name of the DJ that we have currently?
Huh? This is DJ Bond.
Yes.
Of course, everybody knows James Bond 007.
Yes.
I think he borrowed the name. Well, that's all right.
Yes.
DJ Bond, he plays along with Alvin Toppin on Hot 95.3. There is presently at the Springer Memorial School a program which caters to the young ladies who have an interest in developing their craft in terms of DJing and so on, because it is an art in itself. And we are thankful to DJ Tammy, also of Hot 95.3, for facilitating that class. We have 3 young ladies in the class right now, and no, it's 4 actually. 4 young ladies in the class. They were supposed to be on show here today, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, we were unable to have them. But we know we have some good DJ music in the background. But we're going to take a little break here. It's a good chance to do that. Now there's a little lull on the track. We're going to take a break and come right back to you from the National Stadium with the Interhouse Championships here, Springer Memorial.
Hi, the biggest questions we'll get from our potential customers is, how do I get on your network?
Well, it's easy.
You just need 2 things: an Ozone SIM card.
And an LTE Band 13 compatible device.
You're probably wondering, what is that and do I have one?
Well, you just need to visit our website for a list of compatible devices.
Or you can visit us in store. We'll have a wide range of LTE Band 13 compatible devices.
And just remember,
We're beyond the network.
With Ozone, get Wi-Fi with your MiFi. Get the Ozone data experience with your very own portable Wi-Fi hotspot wherever you go. No matter the device, share the connection, stay in the moment, and never skip a beat. Buy an Ozone MiFi and activate a MiFi or data plan of your choice. Get Wi-Fi with your MiFi with Ozone Wireless, beyond a network.
No time for lunch? With a bottle of Ensure, you get 9 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and the calcium that your body needs. For the hectic moments of your life, drink Ensure.
When you need space to grow, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with competitive rates and support every step of the way. Visit us today and discover what's possible.
And we are back here live at the National Stadium for this, the Interhouse Championships of the Springer Memorial School. In the background, you're hearing the sounds of Marsville, currently in the finals of the International Soca Monarch over in Trinidad. He's been doing exceptionally well for himself over the last 2 years. So congratulations to Marsville from Sports.BB. Thanks to the sponsors as well. And the children are... The momentum really is building here. It's a nice little climax we have on track. We have to look forward to the junior medley, and I know those houses and house masters and mistresses are sorting themselves out as we speak. This event, Mr. King, you want to tell us about the medley?
Yes, certainly. The sprint medley, 800 meters in total distance, 1 by 1. So it starts off with 2 100-meter runs, first and second leg. The third leg, I think that's what sets up the race nicely. The third leg goes 200 meters, followed by the anchor, who would do 400 meters, Mr. Webster. And this event is one that the junior school look forward to because it's their big event where the junior school from first to third form select their athletes for this event to run. So the best of the house in terms of the junior school gets to compete. The only requirement is that they're in third form and down for this particular event. And they certainly enjoy it.
So that would be divisions 5, 4, and 3?
Yes, sir.
The junior medley. It's going to be a thriller. 2 100-meter sprints, followed by a 200-meter. And finally a 400-meter. And rounding out the day's events, of course, will be the 4x4 100-meter relays. Obviously, one of those highly anticipated events. They would usually find closing out any meet. The 4x4 100-meter relay event. I know that as we look at BSAC, I hear Jules and Perry Barnett often speak of the legacy of Lodge winning that 4x4 100-meter race at BSAC. Mark Fingal really wanted to ensure that Lodge School took control of that event. That was Lodge's event. Yes. They owned it really at BSAC level.
Yes,
so
the 4x4.
I am not sure that they actually won it last year though. Times have changed, obviously Fingal having moved on and so on, but when you hear the athletes speak of him and you hear people like last night, one of our premier entertainers, Mr. Andy Blood Armstrong, he celebrated his 50th birthday yesterday, and it was a nice function for him and everything, and he spoke about the impact that Mac had. And so we're looking forward now to seeing what is happening in terms of the points. And my, look at the bottom of that table there. Look at the distance between red and green. So for those of you tuning in, let me take this opportunity to give an update in terms of the points. I'm going to ask my good friend, Mr. DJ Bond, who's been playing some nice stuff for me. Give me 1 second here. Just to bring you up to date with the points and let you know what the changes have been, if there have been any changes. There have been changes, but in the points. Let's see. In 5th position, with a total of 364 points, Red House. In 4th position, with a total of 385.5 points, Greenhouse. Now, a lot can change in terms of these relays, so we have to pay attention to that race for 4th and 5th. In 3rd place, with 456.5 points, we have Blue House. In 2nd position, amassing 498.5 points, the Purple Titans. And still leading the way with a whopping 577.5 points, the Stinging Bees Yellow House. Those are the latest point updates. Please bear with me, those of our viewers. I really have to multitask here today, doing the live stuff, doing the stream as well. Unfortunately, my co-commentator, Miss Victoria Lovell, decided to go somewhere, touch something that she should not touch, and get ill. We were considering bringing her today, but then we thought it best that she be quarantined, really, and kept in her home. But we wish her a speedy recovery, nonetheless. So those are the latest points here at the the Spring Memorial Inter-House Championship meet. And we are waiting the start of the junior medley. The sounds of Shal Marshall. We're hearing in the background there. Maybe you want to take in a little bit of the ambience and feel the vibe, as they say. But this is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous day here today at the National Stadium. Splendid weather. It wasn't like this at the semifinals. We had some intermittent showers, which put a little damper on things in between. But the semifinal stage of this meet flowed pretty okay. But here today, we could not have asked for better conditions for these students to come out and show their talent and to perform. The wind was a little high earlier. It seems to have settled down significantly now, I guess, and we're not seeing as much movement in the trees and the flags and so on as we were earlier. So maybe we can see some fast times run. I don't know if you are aware of any records that have been broken for the day, Mr. King. Have any records been broken?
I don't, not that I recall, but I know the 800, and the day that we ran the 800 meters, Malia Edwards, that you spoke about earlier, would have broken the relay, the 800 record. She ran 2:32 for the 800 meter record.
So there you would have heard it from Mr. King's mouth. 2:32. Malia Edwards, she is now the new record holder of the 800 meters, the Division 3 girls. Diminutive in stature, but certainly large in ability and potential. Malia Edwards. She's quite a character. As we continue to await the start of this junior medley event, 2 100s, a 200, and then we have a 400 meter event. I've been watching with a very keen eye the progress of these young ladies. I'm seeing that there is a fitness group now in action on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the school. And some of these young ladies are becoming involved. They're more aware of their physical fitness and the importance of staying active. We hear a lot of talk about obesity. We hear a lot of people saying things like the young people like to eat a lot of chicken, a lot of snacks and that kind of stuff. But it's good that they're also taking stock of health in terms of making sure that they're involved in some form of physical activity, and that fitness group has been growing exponentially over the last few weeks. We're in week 4 now of the term, and from what I would have seen yesterday compared to what I saw in week 2, it's growing. In fact, I now feel compelled myself to probably go and have a jog, and you would want to probably join me, Mr. King, considering that you probably are a little heavier than I am.
Well, you see, Mr. Webster, sir, I am sure that the mileage on this body far exceeds yours 3-4 times fold. So it's okay, Mr. Webster, but Miss Bess is doing a fantastic job with the fitness group. As many as 50 students on evenings up and down the school. And those who know Miss Bess knows that any program that Miss Bess puts together is also well structured, and the discipline that is involved is extremely high. She also makes sure that the diet is also in point. They have several meetings during the week in the physical education room, and those who have ever been privileged to come through the walls of Spring Memorial and see the physical education room, the trophies in the background, the constant reminder of success and excellence here at the Spring Memorial School. Miss Bess does a fantastic job with the fitness group and the throwing and the field events as well.
Well, that is the motto of the school, excellence the only way. I think that's the theme that they're going forward with for the year 2018.
Yes, sir.
It looks like the athletes are just about ready here for they call it the 800 meter sprint medley. In lane 3, yellow house. In lane 4, red. In lane 5, green. In lane 6, purple house. And in lane 7, the lasses from Blue House. And we're pleased to rejoin you. This is live coverage, sports.bb. The event on track, the 800-meter sprint medley. The young ladies will run 2 100s, a 200 and a 400 in that order. Lane assignments: lane 3 yellow, lane 4 red, lane 5 green, lane 6 purple, lane 7 blue. Of course, the event is for the junior girls. Let's see how it goes on the starters' orders. And they're off and running the 800-meter sprint medley. And let's see how it's shaping up here. Purple House looks extremely good. Oh, very smooth around the turn. Let's see how they look for this second 100 meters as they make their way down the back stretch. Purple House looking extremely good here. But I'm seeing that young lady that looks like Green House. I'm not sure who that is. She looks like a netballer. I can't remember the name right now off the top of my head, but she's running a very good back stretch there. Purple House, Green House, and Red House there in the mix. I'm seeing a Keys of Pollard from Red House there. I'm seeing Yellow House making their way now across the turn. This is 200 meters that they have to run this time around. When they hand that baton off, they're going to make their way all the way around the track for 400 meters. This is the 200-meter stage. Let me turn my attention to the monitor here. And it looks as though Yellow House is going to hand off first. That's Kennedy Jackman. And she hands off to Malia Edwards. Hard-working Malia Edwards. She's been doing it all day. And Yellow House is up front and center. I'm seeing Alice there. Aisha Alice, it looks like. She's in second position from Green House. Looking pretty good. But you got to pay very close attention to young Beard from Red. Now, she's tracking Purple House very, very closely. And she's taken down one. But it's all Malia Edwards and Yellow House. And Beard is running with some heart here. Very, very impressive stuff from this young lady all day. She's been performing outstandingly. But Malia Edwards as well. One cannot rate the efforts of Malia Edwards. She has been outstanding all day. She has energy and energy to burn. Malia Edwards is out front by far, just like her house. Yellow House, they're out front by far. The Stinging Bees, Malia Edwards making their way down the track, and she's followed by Beard from Red House. It's all yellow. It's all Malia Edwards. It's all yellow. It's all Malia Edwards, and she's arms and legs pumping. The 800-meter holder for 2018. Malia Edwards, Yellow House, and she crosses the line now to give Yellow House the victory in the 800 sprint. This is Beard. Brianna Beard's finishing second for Red House, and Purple now finishing third. Oh, fourth and fifth. Looks like Green Alice from Green House getting in front of Low from Blue. A very, very good effort there from the girls from Yellow House. Malia Edwards, this young lady, is certainly one to pay attention to for the future. I hope that she continues to grow from strength to strength. Got to hold her close. Got to hold her close, Mr. King. Got to hold her close, Mr. Dupini. Make sure that she does all that she needs to do. Certainly looking forward to seeing her at BSAC 2018, as I am looking forward to seeing Mr. Kenmore Bino, who comes right opposite me and strikes a pose. Would you like me to take your picture, sir? Us having a little fun.
Yeah, for the next race, drop down the lanes.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Webster.
Yes. Careful there. Oh my goodness. We've had thrills, no spills. We don't want any spills today, Mr. King. But we are having some good action on track. What have we here?
The 4x4, we are dropping down everyone in lanes. So in lane 2 will be green.
Right.
Lane 3, yellow. Lane 4, purple. Lane 5, red. And lane 6 would be blue. This is the Open Girls 4x400 meters relay. This is open to the entire school.
Mm-hmm.
All athletes, your best four, Mr. Webster. So I hope Red would bring their best four in this occasion.
Well, I certainly hope that Red House does not send Brianna Beer to run again. I think that would not be fair. Really, that child has been running all day. And she is an outstanding athlete, but we want to manage her. We want to make sure that she has some legs for the future. And we have BSAC coming up. We really don't want to overextend these athletes and have them doing too much. Yes, these championships help to determine who exactly we will, add to the team and take to BSAC. And so they still have to be monitored pretty closely.
In addition to that, I hope Yella does not turn out Malia Edwards again.
Yeah, I certainly hope they don't do that.
We'll see what the house master and the house mistress.
But I would like to think that people like yourself, the coaches, would have some kind of say in terms of what happens with regard to whether an athlete should be allowed to run. I think these girls work hard, and we need to start to look at things like that. Obviously we know that the houses want to win, but we also have to take into perspective the bigger picture.
Based on what I'm saying here, I don't think Bear would return for the 4x4. So
and
that's a good judgment call there by Mr. Jokes, who seems to be.
While we have a little lull here in terms of the activity on the track, we want to take a little break, pay some bills, and come right back and bring you some more action from the inter-house sports here at the National Stadium. Springer Memorial, large and in charge here. It's their day. We're going to take a break right here.
Hi, the biggest questions we'll get from our potential customers is, how do I get on your network?
Well, it's easy.
You just need two things: an Ozone SIM card
And an LTE Band 13 compatible device.
You're probably wondering, what is that and do I have one?
Well, you just need to visit our website for a list of compatible devices.
Or you can visit us in store. We'll have a wide range of LTE Band 13 compatible devices.
And just remember,
we're beyond the network.
With Ozone, get Wi-Fi with your MiFi. Get the Ozone data experience with your very own portable Wi-Fi hotspot wherever you go. No matter the device, share the connection, stay in the moment, and never skip a beat. Buy an Ozone MiFi and activate a MiFi or data plan of your choice. Get Wi-Fi with your MiFi with Ozone Wireless, beyond a network.
No time for lunch? With a bottle of Ensure, you get 9 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and the calcium that your body needs. For the hectic moments of your life, drink Ensure.
When you need space to grow, there's nothing like the home you own. Let Scotiabank open the door for you with competitive rates and support every step of the way. Visit us today and discover what's possible.
The Stinging Bees will be once again running away with the championship here at the Spring Memorial Inter-House Championship.
Yes, so just recapping what Mr. Webster would have just indicated to us. Red on 374. For green in fourth position, 391.5 points. Blue is in third, 460.5 points. Purple Titans, 506.5 points. They're in second position. And leading into the final event, the open 4x4 relay, yellow, the Stinging Bees, on 589.5 points. Mr. Webster must commend the effort placed in this competition by Green. If I had to give an award for the most improved team, I would have to certainly give it to Greenhouse. Over the number of years, Green, since I have been working at the Spring Memorial School, I've also held the last position, and I've seen an effort placed by the house masters to make sure that they have not been in last.
Mr. King, I would beg to differ. If there has to be a most improved team award given today, it has to go to Purple House. Purple House has won, never won this meet. Purple House 2 has also had the most number of 5th places that I can recall since I have been at Spring Memorial.
Okay.
And it just goes to show the difference that a year can make. So we are seeing the athletes making their way. This is the Open Girls 4x400 meters relay.
Yes.
Seeing Joanne Clark here, Ladija Granum. This Yellow House team is certainly one to watch. I anticipate that they may come out on top here.
Okay. Go ahead.
And we have been given some lane assignments.
Just recapping the...
As we get ready to call this final event for the day. Lane assignments here. In lane 2, Green House. In lane 3, Yellow House. Lane 4, Purple House. Lane 5, Red House. And lane 6, Yellow House. If I am to be fair, if I am to be objective, I reckon that the Yellow House girls look pretty good to take this one. But we have to wait and see. I'm trying to see if I can see the likes of Naomi Gardier. Not seeing her involved in this one for Red House. But I'm seeing Tricia Phillips. Seeing Ladija Granum. Joanne Clark. Looking very, very good here is this Yellow House team. I wonder if they can possibly challenge for a record. But when you think about it, one cannot factor out the likes of Foster. I'm not seeing Coward. She's worked extremely hard today. So let's see how it goes. This is the final event. It will bring the curtain down on this meet. On the starters' orders. And they're off and running for this, the final event of this 2018 edition of the Interhouse Championships. And from my vantage point, I am seeing here Joanne Clark looking pretty easy. Athlete from Green House on the inside, doing a little running. Very small in stature, but she is making some very big strides here as she makes her way along the back stretch. As they make their way now toward the 200-meter mark, still looking like Joanne Clark as far as I'm concerned, followed probably by Blue House. We'll have to wait and see as they straighten up and make their way to the first handover point. But things look pretty good here for the girls. This looks like Blue House, but I'm seeing Joanne Clark tracking very closely. A lot of talent with yellow here. There's also some good talent in blue. I'm seeing Shaquana Scott of Purple House as well. She is there, and they're about to hand off. Let's see who is able to hand off this baton first. Looking to me like Joanne Clark, as I suspected, in the lead here, followed very, very closely. Oh my goodness, that looks like Red House. Yes, that's Kizana Harris. I thought that was blue. She doesn't have on any red today, but nonetheless, it's red and yellow up front and center. Let's see. Blue House is way behind here. Oh, I'm having some difficulty seeing Shaquana Scott in fourth, and the athlete from Green House is in third. But making some distance now between herself and the athlete from Red House is the Ladija Granum. As I mentioned before, Yellow House have a number of very good athletes in this event, so one would anticipate that they may very well take this one in a canter, no, without much of a fuss or anything of the sort. So, but Red House is there in second place, trying to hold on. Ladija Granum running and running strong. She looks good. She has been running all day. This yellow machinery is really well oiled, and we can only imagine what this Spring Memorial team will look like as we go forward and look forward to BSAC 2018. Let's see how it's shaping up. Ladija Granham from Yellow House, she's going to hand off the baton now. And so Yellow is out front. And seeing they're followed by Red House. Sargent is going to take up the baton now, and she's going to run her leg. Looking at Kayla Turney. Kayla Turney has been one of those athletes who's been preparing extremely hard from the time the season ended last year. She's been putting in some work. She'll have some running to do here, though. Let's see how this pans out. Deandra Foster, she's going to take a little run now. It's her turn now. She is very well capable of running back here and putting Blue House in contention for a medal, but back with where the leader is, and that's all the way up with the 200-meter mark. That's Yellow House, who's going to, oh my goodness, there's so much distance between themselves and the second place. One can already call it, but you never know what may happen. Let's see how it goes. Tricia Phillips is calling her in now. This is the last leg. Tricia Phillips placing second earlier today in the Division 1 girls 400 meters. Of course, she was second only to her teammate Joanne Clark. But she's about to hand that baton off now, and she's going to receive that baton in the lead. Tricia Phillips receiving the baton now, and she's off and running. So this one, we can call it for Yellow House done and dusted. So let's look at second. I'm seeing Red House there. This is Sargent coming in. Having lots of difficulty here seeing the race to call it. This is Chantel Sargent, and she's going to hand. Oh, this is the young lady I was looking for. This is Gardier, Naomi Gardier. Kayla Turney now handing off to Alice. That's the seniors, the elder sister now. And this is Nevi Andra Greenwich. Now this is Nevi Andrews last year, I reckon, at Spring Memorial. So she is probably going to run the leg of her life for Blue House. Tricia Phillips, though, she is up front, and there will be no catching her today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. Probably they won't catch her for the balance of 2018. Tricia Phillips and Yellow House, they're going to stamp their authority here today, and they're going to sign, seal, and deliver this championship for the Stinging Bees. Tricia Phillips, pumping arms and legs, winning it now. She's making her way down to the finish line to win it for Yellow House, and there Tricia Phillips crosses the line now. But I did tell you that Nevi Andra Greenwich has a lot to run for. This may be her very well be her last year at Spring Memorial. Nevi Andra Greenwich tracking very closely Naomi Gardier and Nevi Andra Greenwich. Does Nevi Andra Greenwich have what to say? Somebody's in my camera shot and I need them to get out. Oh, come on, somebody. Here, I'm seeing it is going to be all Naomi Gardier. She's going to take that second spot for Red House. Nevi Andra Greenwich, though, running a very good race, putting Blue House in contention for medal, a bronze medal. That's all there will be for Blue House, but a good run considering where they came from and where, oh where, has Purple House gone? Where, oh where can they be? Over by the 200-meter track. Somebody just showed it to me. But that brings us to the end of all of the activities. We've had a fantastic day today here at the National Stadium for the Inter-House Championships. This is, of course, Springer Memorial, and we are indeed proud. It was an excellent day. Had our issues at the beginning, but I think we've ended in a blaze of glory as Yellow House, I believe I can call it, will be the champions. They will remain the champions for 2018. A very, very outstanding performance from the girls from Yellow House. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to all of the athletes today who would have come out and put in a big effort to make sure that their house would have gotten some points. Oh, there are lots and lots of events. I mean, these young ladies did an outstanding job today. I think they're going to take a little bow now. I think they should take Nevi Andra Greenwich along with them. This is probably her last year. How about that, Tricia Phillips? Take your good friend Nevi Andra Greenwich to enjoy this moment with you. Where's Nevi Andra Greenwich? Is she cramping up or anything? But there we see a little lap. Well, it's not a lap, but is it going to acknowledge their fans and their supporters? The Stinging Bees, the flag is waving in the background there. I'm seeing somebody in the yellow pants. That looks like Miss Thorne. Is that Miss Thorne? She's waving the flag? No, that's not Miss Thorne. Looks like a student. I thought Miss Thorne was there taking a little bit of sun. The Stinging Bees. I know Mr. Griffith, he must be extremely pleased with this effort. I certainly have my work cut out for me. I now have to go and try to see how best I can revive Red House. So I may not be able to do this commentary next year. My house is suffering and suffering badly. I'm not one of these last place finishers. It's not one of the things I do. But I'm going to hand you over now to Miss Phillips while I return to sports.bb. And we are here, very, very thankful for a good day. We've had good weather. We've had good competition. Yes, I think we've had some good coverage. And we have had some good support from Ozone and from Scotiabank Insure. We want to thank you for bringing this Inter-House Championships to those who are unable rather to be here with us today.
Mr. Webster, I also would like to thank you on behalf of the Physical Education Department for making sure that the coverage, the outside broadcast brought to us by sports.bb was done fluently. You did an excellent job, fantastic job as usual. I would like to commend you and thank you very much for making sure the 2018 production has been a successful one.
Oh, fantastic. No problem at all. It's been a pleasure to be here. I anticipate that DJ Bond is going to start up some music in the background and allow the girls to enjoy themselves and celebrate. I reckon he may play Champion by DJ Bravo. Are you going to play Champion by DJ Bravo, DJ Bond? Are you going to play Champion? That's what you're going to do, is he?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, I can tell these DJs what the guys are going to do. These guys are smart, you know. and look at the girls from Yellow House. Oh, my goodness. They are excited. I want to give you the final points. I'll have some division. You can do the division champions.
Oh, yes.
Let's see.
Division 5.
Yeah.
Brianna Beard from Red House, 68.5 points. And Division 4, we have Jacina Nurse from Purple House with 60 points. In Division 3, you called it Mr. Webster, Malia Edwards with 60 points. Division 2, the utility girl of Joan Smith, Jalissa Joan Smith with 65 points. And of course, Juan Clark, Division 1 from Yellow House. A whopping 90 points, Mr. Webster. Amazing. Our junior Victrix Ludor, therefore, is Brianna Beard with 68.5 points. And of course, our senior Victrix Ludor from Yellow House, Juan Clark with 90 points.
And in terms of the final point standings, in 5th place we have Red House with 384 points. In 4th position we have Green House with 397.5 points. In 3rd, Blue House, 468.5 points. 2 in play. Oh my goodness. In 2nd place, in position number 2, Purple House with 506 points. 506.5, yes. And the girls from Purple House, my goodness, 601.5 points. That's a lot of points. 600.5. Well, we have had a good day today, and we have seen repeat champions here at the Springer Memorial Inter-House Championships. The girls are celebrating. They're dancing to the sounds of DJ Bravo in the background. We want to thank you for joining us here today on sports.bb for this live coverage. We do again apologize for the technical difficulties that we would have had during the course of the day, but we thank you for being with us nonetheless. It was a pleasure bringing this coverage to you. I am Ian Webster. Of course, next to me today I shared the microphone with Mr. Stephen Williams, and a little later on I shared it with Mr. Jesse King. We were happy to have brought this coverage to you, and on behalf of sports.bb, again, we want to thank our sponsors, Ozone Insure and Scotiabank. We are going to be signing off from the National Stadium and bidding you goodbye until next time. Remember, we're going to be bringing you live coverage of the zone meets for BSAC and certainly the 2 final days of BSAC as well. So we have that to look forward to, and we will be back with you. So look out for it. Here is yours truly, Ian Webster, signing off. Sports.bb. I ask you to have a good weekend and be safe.
Hi, the biggest questions we'll get from our potential customers is, how do I get on your network?
Well, it's easy.
You just need two things: an Ozone SIM card
And an LTE Band 13 compatible device.
You're probably wondering, what is that and do I have one?
Well, you just need to visit our website for a list of compatible devices.
Or you can visit us in store. We'll have a wide range of LTE Band 13 compatible devices.
And just remember,
We're beyond the network.
Yes is a beautiful word. It empowers us. It brings satisfaction. And since you earn up to 3% cash back on everyday purchases with the Scotiabank Gold MasterCard, that's a lot of satisfaction, a lot more often. Plus, you get a welcome bonus from the get-go. Scotiabank Gold MasterCard is the card that keeps on giving, so it's easier for you to create many more precious yes moments. Apply for yours today. Call or visit a Scotiabank branch to find out more. Conditions apply.